The ship named Aurora moved through the endless dark of space. Inside, a young pilot named Aaron sat in the cockpit, staring at the bright stars ahead. Aaron was not a soldier or a great leader. He was a simple man who loved flying. Yet today, he carried the hopes of all humanity. After years of signals and messages, Earth had finally made contact with a powerful alien empire known as the Veari. They had invited a human representative for a meeting. Many leaders had debated who should go. In the end, they chose Aaron because of his calm nature and courage in dangerous missions. Aaron felt nervous, but also excited. He had studied everything about the Veari from the limited information Earth had received. They were tall beings with radiant skin that shimmered in different colors. Their empire stretched across thousands of star systems. Many believed they were far more advanced than humans in both technology and culture. Still, they were not a violent race. They valued honor and strength of spirit. That was why their queen, Scifi, had sent a personal message to Earth asking to meet. As Aurora entered the Veari star system, Aaron saw massive space stations orbiting bright planets. Veari ships surrounded him, sleek and elegant, glowing with strange energy fields. A voice came through his communicator. "Human pilot, your arrival is expected. You will be guided to the royal vessel of Queen Scifi." Aaron followed their instructions. His ship was gently pulled by a tractor beam toward a colossal craft that dwarfed everything around it. The ship was shaped like a silver crescent, with golden lights running along its hull. It looked less like a machine and more like a piece of art. Inside Aurora, Aaron checked his appearance. He wore a simple dark blue uniform with Earth's emblem on the chest. He knew this meeting was not just about politics. It was about trust. When Aurora entered the docking bay, Aaron saw Veari soldiers waiting for him. They were tall, graceful, and carried strange spear-like weapons. But their posture was not hostile. It was respectful, as if they were greeting an honored guest. One of them stepped forward and spoke in fluent English. "Thanks to advanced translators. Welcome, Aaron of Earth. The Queen awaits you." Aaron took a deep breath and stepped out of his ship. The alien guards guided him through bright halls lined with glowing crystal pillars. Strange symbols decorated the walls. Everything felt alive, as if the ship itself was breathing. Finally, the guards stopped at a giant door that opened with a soft hum. Inside was the grand throne room. The ceiling was high, filled with floating lights that looked like stars. At the far end sat Queen Scifi. She was unlike anything Aaron had imagined. She was tall, with silver blue skin that shimmered like water. Her long hair glowed faintly, and her golden eyes seemed wise yet kind. She wore armor that looked both elegant and strong, decorated with jewels that pulsed with energy. When Aaron entered, she stood and stepped forward, her presence commanding but gentle. "Aaron of Earth," she said in a melodic voice, "welcome to the heart of my empire. I have watched your people grow, struggle, and rise among the stars. You are young, yet you burn with a fire that even my people admire." Aaron bowed slightly, unsure of the proper way to greet her. "It is an honor to be here. Queen Scifi, I come as a friend, hoping our worlds can know peace and understanding." Scifi smiled. "Peace is what I wish as well, but I also wish for more than peace. My empire is vast, yet it is not united. There are many who seek power through fear. I have seen in humans something rare. You fight impossible battles not because you are the strongest, but because you never give up. That is why I sent for you." Aaron looked surprised. "Why me? I am just a pilot. There are leaders on Earth who know far more about ruling than I do." Scifi stepped closer, her golden eyes locked on his. "Because leaders often think only of power. But you have the heart of a man who acts for others. I do not want a ruler who seeks control. I want a partner who can help me guide the stars toward hope." The room fell silent. Aaron could feel the weight of her words. Then Scifi said something that made his heart race. "Aaron of Earth, will you rule the galaxy by my side?" Aaron froze. The question felt unreal. How could a simple pilot like him be asked to share power over an entire galaxy? He thought of Earth, of his family, of the people who trusted him to represent them. "I do not know if I am worthy," Aaron said honestly, Srava tilted her head slightly. That is why you may be the one who is truly worthy, but I do not expect you to answer now. If you are to stand with me, you must prove to my people and to yourself that you have the strength, wisdom, and heart to lead. Will you take the test I offer you? Aaron hesitated, his heart pounded. He was just one man far from home, standing before a queen of a mighty empire. But deep inside, he felt a strange sense of purpose. Yes, he said at last, I will. Take your tests. Srava's golden eyes glowed brighter, as if pleased. Then it begins. If you succeed, the galaxy will see what humans are truly capable of. If you fail, at least you will have shown courage in trying. The Veyari guards struck the floor with their weapons. In a gesture of honor, Aaron felt both fear and determination. Rising inside him, the queen turned to her court. Prepare the trials. Let the galaxy witness the spirit of Earth. Aaron stood tall. Whatever these trials were, he knew he could not turn back. Humanity's future among the stars now rested on his shoulders. The next morning, Aaron was taken to a chamber filled with glowing panels. Queen Srava stood at the center, surrounded by members of her council. Each of them watched Aaron closely. Some looked curious, while others seemed doubtful. They had never seen a human before, and they were unsure if he truly deserved to be tested. Srava raised her hand for silence. Today, Aaron of Earth will begin the trials. These trials are not about strength alone. They are about the qualities that make a leader worthy. He will face 3 tests, one for strength, one for wisdom, and one for heart. The first test begins. Now, a large screen showed an image of a wild moon covered in forests and rocky cliffs. Strange creatures moved in the shadows. Srava explained, this moon is called Drival. It is filled with dangerous beasts. You will be sent there with a small team of Veyari soldiers. To pass this test, you must protect your team and survive until you reach the signal tower at the top of a mountain. Only then will a ship retrieve you. Aaron took a deep breath. He was not a soldier, but he knew how to stay calm under pressure. I understand, he said. Moments later, he and 5 Veyari soldiers stood inside a transport pod. The soldiers were tall and strong, each carrying an energy spear. They looked at Aaron with uncertain eyes. One of them spoke. You are no warrior. Why has our queen chosen you? Aaron replied honestly, maybe because I'm not a warrior, but I know how to keep my team alive. If we work together, we can finish this mission. The soldier studied him for a moment, then gave a small nod. Very well, human. We will see what you are capable of. The pod shook as it entered Drival's atmosphere. When the doors opened, the team stepped out into a world of thick trees and misty air. Strange sounds echoed around them. The ground trembled as distant creatures moved through the forest. Aaron quickly scanned the surroundings. We stay together. No one wanders off alone. If something attacks, we form a circle and protect each other. The soldiers exchanged glances. They were used to strict commanders, not someone who treated them like equals. Still, they followed his lead as they moved through the forest. Glowing eyes appeared in the shadows. A huge beast, covered in scales with sharp claws, leapt toward them. The soldiers raised their spears. But Aaron shouted, do not waste energy. Aim for its eyes. They followed his order, and the spears shot beams of light into the creature's eyes. The beast roared and retreated into the trees. The soldiers looked surprised. How did you know where to aim? One of them asked. Aaron shrugged. Every creature has a weakness. You just need to watch it closely. They continued forward, facing more dangers. At one point, a deep canyon blocked their path. The soldiers suggested going around it, but Aaron noticed a cluster of strong vines hanging from tall trees. He tied them together to make a rope bridge. One by one, they crossed safely. As night fell, the team made camp near a rock wall. The soldiers prepared to take turns standing guard, but Aaron insisted on sharing the watch equally. If we are a team, we all carry the same weight, he said. During his watch, Aaron heard one soldier whisper to another, he is different. He does not command like our lords. He listens. By morning, the team reached the base of the mountain. The climb was steep and dangerous, When one soldier slipped, Aaron grabbed his arm just in time, pulling him to safety. The soldier stared at him in shock. "You risked yourself for me," Aaron simply replied. A leader who leaves someone behind does not deserve to lead. Finally, after hours of climbing, they reached the signal tower. It was an ancient structure left by explorers long ago. Aaron worked with the soldiers to repair the tower's controls. When the beacon lit up, a loud cheer rose among the team soon. A ship arrived to take them back to the royal vessel. When they stepped out of the ship, the council members were waiting. Many of them had expected Aaron to fail. Instead, the Veari soldiers saluted him with respect. One soldier stepped forward. "This human saved us more than once. He led not as a commander, but as one of us. He is worthy of the Queen's trust." The council members murmured among themselves. Some were impressed, others remained doubtful. Queen Sarava smiled. "You have passed the first trial, Aaron, but strength is only one part of leadership. The next test will judge your wisdom. You will face the council of rival lords, where words are more dangerous than weapons. If you cannot win their trust or respect, you will fail." Aaron nodded. "I will try, but I do not know your politics. I do not know how to speak like your lords do." Sarava stepped closer and said softly, "That may be your greatest advantage. They are used to lies and power games. Speak honestly, as you did with my soldiers. That is the kind of wisdom they have forgotten." Aaron felt nervous, but he also felt stronger after what he had just achieved. He realized that courage was not about never being afraid. It was about moving forward even when fear tried to hold you back. The council meeting was set for the next day. Unknown to Aaron, one of the rival lords, Corin, was already planning to use this meeting to destroy him. Aaron returned to his quarters to rest, but his mind kept racing. He had survived the first trial, yet the next one would not be about survival. It would be about earning respect in a world where honesty could be seen as weakness. He looked out the window at the stars. Somewhere out there was Earth, watching and waiting. He whispered to himself, "I will not fail them. I cannot." The night passed slowly, and as the new day came, Aaron prepared himself to face a room full of powerful alien rulers who believed humans had no place among them. This test would decide if they saw him as a leader or just another outsider trying to grab power. The next day, Aaron was escorted to the Grand Council Hall. The hall was a massive circular chamber with tall crystal pillars that glowed softly. Round the circle sat the lords of the Veari Empire, each wearing armor and robes that reflected their power and heritage. They were rulers of different star systems, each with their own fleets and armies. Some looked at Aaron with curiosity, others with clear disapproval. At the far end, Queen Sarava stood with grace and authority. She raised her hand, and the room fell silent. "Today we gather to see if Aaron of Earth can prove himself in the trial of wisdom. He has shown courage and leadership in the first trial, but now he must face the minds and hearts of those who question him. Each of you may ask him what you will. Let us see if he can win your respect." A tall, dark-skinned Veari lord named Corin leaned forward. His eyes glowed red, and his voice was deep and cold. "Queen Sarava, with all respect, why should we waste our time on this human? He is nothing. His people are weak. Let him return to his tiny world, and let us rule our empire as we always have." Aaron stood calmly. Though his heart was pounding, he looked at Corin and spoke clearly. "You are right. My world is small compared to your empire. My people are not as advanced. But strength is not always about weapons or power. Sometimes strength is about never giving up, even when the odds are impossible." Several lords murmured among themselves. Aaron continued, "I will not stand here and claim that humans are better than you. We are not, but we have something to give, just as you do. If we work together, if we listen to each other, we can build something greater than any one of us." Alone, another lord, an older female named Vera, tilted her head. "You speak of unity, but what do you know of ruling? You are just a pilot. What makes you think you can lead even a single star system, let alone an empire?" Aaron nodded. "I do not think ruling is about knowing everything. It is about asking the right questions. listening to those around you, and never forgetting that power belongs to the people you serve, not to yourself. I do not claim to be a great leader, but I can promise I will always put others before myself. That is all I can offer." His honesty made several council members pause. Many of them were used to grand speeches filled with promises of power. Arn's words were simple but sincere. Corin laughed. "You speak like a child. Do you think kindness can unite this empire? You know nothing of power. Power is taken, not shared." Aaron turned to him. "Power taken by fear never lasts. A ruler who leads through fear is only strong until someone stronger comes along. But a ruler who leads through trust is strong forever because his people stand with him. That is what I believe." For a moment, the hall was silent. Some of the lords shifted uncomfortably. Suddenly, a servant entered the hall and handed a message to one of the guards. The guard read it quickly and whispered to Queen Sarava. Her golden eyes narrowed slightly. Unaware of the message, Corin stood. "This is a waste of time. Let us end this. Humans have no place here." He slammed his hand on the table. "I demand a vote. Let us see how many of us truly believe this outsider deserves even a moment of our attention." Before Sarava could respond, Aaron raised his hand. "If you wish to vote, then vote. But before you do, let me ask just one thing. How many of you are truly happy with the way things are? How many of you sleep peacefully knowing your worlds are safe, that your people trust you, that your empire is strong and united?" His question struck deeper than he expected. Several lords looked away, some even lowering their heads slightly. The empire had been struggling for years with corruption, rebellion, and endless rivalries. Aaron continued, "I did not ask for power. I did not want to rule you. I only asked for a chance to help, to stand beside Queen Sarava, and to work for something better. If that is too much to ask, then I will return to Earth without anger or regret. But know this, no empire can survive forever if it is built only on pride." The hall grew quiet again. Finally, Ver spoke. "This human is not what I expected. He may be simple, but perhaps that is what we need. I will not vote to send him away." A few other lords nodded in agreement, but Corin's eyes burned with rage. He could see that Aaron was slowly winning over some of the council. The queen finally spoke. "Enough. The vote will wait. We have all seen that Aaron does not seek to take, but to give. That is wisdom enough for today. The trial continues tomorrow." The council was dismissed as the lords left. Corin walked past Aaron and whispered so only he could hear, "Enjoy your little moment, human. It will not last. You will not survive what comes next." Aaron said nothing, but as he watched Corin leave, he felt a chill run down his spine. Later, in her private chamber, Sarava told Aaron about the message she had received during the meeting. "Corin is planning something. He has been gathering ships in secret. He wishes to overthrow me and destroy everything I have built. You have made him desperate." Aaron clenched his fists. "Then tomorrow's trial will be more dangerous than we thought." Sarava placed a hand on his shoulder. "You are proving yourself, Aaron, but you must be ready. Corin will not stop until he sees you fail or fall." Aaron looked out at the stars. "Then I will not fail. Not for you, not for Earth, not for the people who believe in a better galaxy." The second trial was not yet over, but Aaron had already made powerful friends and dangerous enemies. The true test of wisdom would come when Corin struck with all his power, as checked. The day after the council meeting, Aaron was invited to the queen's private garden. It was a breathtaking place filled with glowing flowers, tall crystal trees, and streams of shimmering water. The garden floated high above the main city of the royal vessel, protected by a transparent dome that showed the endless stars above. Sarava was waiting near a fountain, wearing simple white robes instead of her usual armor. She smiled when she saw Aaron. "You spoke with honesty in the council. Some of the lords respect you now. Others hate you more than ever. But that is a sign you are making a difference." Aaron sat beside her on a smooth stone bench. "I did not try to impress them. I only said what I believed. That," Sarava said softly, "is why you are different from most leaders I have known." They walked slowly through the garden, Scifi showed Aaron the rare plants she had collected from across the galaxy. Some flowers glowed when touched, while others released a soft musical hum in the breeze. Every plant here has a story, Scifi said. Some come from worlds that no longer exist. Others were gifts from friends I made long ago. This garden reminds me that peace is always worth protecting. Aaron listened quietly. For the first time, he saw not just the queen but the person behind the crown. You carry a lot of weight, he said. You rule an empire, but you also have to care for every world in it. That must be lonely sometimes. Scifi's golden eyes softened. It is. Power creates distance. People respect me, but very few truly speak to me as you do. They see only the queen, never Scifi. Aaron hesitated, then asked, "Why did you really choose me? You could have chosen any human leader. Someone with more power or fame." Scifi stopped walking and looked at him. "Because leaders with power often seek more power. I wanted someone who had no desire to rule, but the heart to lead when it mattered. You are not perfect, Aaron, but you are sincere. That is rare." Aaron felt humbled. "I don't know if I can ever be what you need me to be, but I will try." Scifi gave a small smile. Trying is often the first step to greatness. For several days, Aaron and Scifi spent time together. She taught him about Veari history, their struggles, and the sacrifices she had made to keep her empire united. In return, Aaron told her about Earth, its long history of wars and peace, of people who had stood up for freedom even when they had little hope. Scifi listened with interest. "Your world has suffered so much, yet you always rebuild. That is why I believe in humans. You rise after every fall. My people have grown strong, but they have forgotten what it means to struggle." Their bond grew stronger with every conversation. Aaron began to understand the enormous burden Scifi carried. She had to appear strong at all times, even when she felt doubt or fear. One evening, as they stood near the edge of the garden dome, Aaron said, "Maybe what your empire needs is not more power or fear, but hope. If they can see that peace is possible, they might believe in you again." Scifi looked at him with admiration. "Hope is the one thing even the strongest weapon cannot create, but you carry it naturally. That is why they are starting to listen to you." While their bond grew, Khorne was making his move in secret. He had been gathering fleets from ambitious lords who wanted more power. He promised them that under his rule, they would have freedom to conquer and expand without Scifi's restrictions. One night, while Aaron was in his quarters studying Veari customs for the final trial, a soldier loyal to Scifi rushed in. "Human, we have news. Khorne has begun his rebellion. Several fleets have joined him. They are moving toward key star systems as we speak." Aaron immediately went to the throne room, where Scifi and her generals studied a holographic map of the galaxy. Red lights marked the systems that had already fallen under attack. "Khorne moves faster than I expected," Scifi said, her voice calm but firm. "He knows that if he strikes quickly, the Empire will panic. Many will abandon me out of fear." Aaron stepped forward. "Then we cannot fight him with fear. We must show the people that you stand for more than power. If they see worlds joining you willingly, Khorne will lose support." One general frowned. "Easier said than done. The smaller worlds do not trust the council. They feel ignored and used. They will not fight for us." Aaron looked at Scifi. "Then let me go to them. Let me speak to them, not as a ruler, but as someone who understands being powerless. If they can trust me, they will trust you." The council was shocked by his bold offer. "You will risk your life?" one general asked. "Yes," Aaron replied simply, "because if we do nothing, Khorne will win, and if he wins, everything we worked for will be gone." Scifi studied him for a long moment. Finally, she nodded. "Very well. You will take a small fleet and visit these worlds. But know this, Aaron, if you fail, you may not return alive." Aaron smiled faintly. "I did not come here to play safe. I came here to make a difference." The generals prepared a ship for him, while Scifi walked with him to the docking bay. As they stood before his vessel, she placed her hand lightly on his arm. "Be careful, Aaron. I have lost too many people I cared for. I did not wish to lose you as well." Aaron looked at her, realizing how much she truly trusted him. "I will come back, I promise." For a brief moment, neither spoke. They simply stood there, two very different beings who had come to understand each other deeply. As Aaron boarded his ship, Srava watched in silence. For the first time in many years, she felt something she had long forgotten. Hoped out far away, Khorne's fleets grew stronger. The Empire was on the edge of war, and soon the final test would not be about wisdom or strength. It would be about survival. But Aaron was ready. He had earned the trust of soldiers, the respect of some lords, and the bond of a queen. Now, he would have to earn the faith of entire worlds. Aaron's ship, Aurora, left the royal vessel with a small fleet of Veari escort ships. Inside the command deck, Aaron studied a map of nearby systems. Several smaller worlds had remained neutral for years, ignored by the powerful lords. These worlds were tired of being used for resources and taxes without gaining any protection. Aaron believed these forgotten worlds could be the key to winning against Khorne. Their first stop was a desert planet named Tavros. The Tavrosian Council greeted Aaron with suspicion. "Why should we fight for Queen Srava?" One elder asked. "We have no fleets, no influence. No one from the council has cared for us in decades." Aaron spoke calmly. "You are right. You were ignored. That was wrong. I am not here to order you. I am here to ask for your trust. Khorne will not stop at the powerful worlds. He will take everything he can. But Srava wants an empire where every world matters. Stand with us, and you will not be forgotten again." The council members whispered among themselves. For the first time, someone from the empire had spoken to them with respect instead of demands. The elder finally said, "We will give what little we have. It is not much, but we will stand with you." One by one, Aaron visited more worlds: lush Arion, icy Friss, and the ocean world Calera. On each planet, he spoke directly to the people and their leaders. His honesty and willingness to listen slowly earned their trust. Some worlds gave ships, others gave soldiers, and some even gave valuable supplies. By the time Aaron returned to Srava's fleet, more than a dozen worlds had pledged their loyalty. The Veari generals were stunned. "We have tried for years to gain these alliances," one said. "And you succeeded in days." Aaron simply replied, "Because I treated them as equals, not as tools." But there was no time to celebrate. Khorne's rebellion had already captured several star systems. His fleets were massive, filled with ships from ambitious lords who craved power. Srava called a war council. "Khorne will strike the capital system soon," she said. "If he takes it, the empire will fall." Aaron stepped forward. "Then, we strike first. We use the fleets from the worlds that joined us. We hit his supply lines, weaken his allies, and show the galaxy that he is not unstoppable." The generals looked uncertain, but Srava nodded. "Prepare the fleets. The time for speeches is over. Now we fight." The war began with a series of daring missions. Aaron personally led a small strike force to disable one of Khorne's key supply bases. Flying the Aurora, he used clever tactics to outmaneuver enemy patrols. His fleet destroyed the base without heavy losses. News of the victory spread quickly, giving hope to many who had been afraid to resist. Khorne grew furious. "That human is a plague," he shouted to his commanders. "End him now." The rebel fleets moved toward the capital system. Srava's forces gathered to intercept them. The two sides met in the cold emptiness of space. The battle that followed would be remembered for generations. Aaron's ship darted between enemy cruisers, his crew working with precision. "Target their engines, not their weapons," Aaron ordered. "Disable them, don't destroy them." His unusual tactics surprised both sides. Many rebel ships surrendered instead of fighting to the death. Seeing this, more fleets began to question Khorne's cause. But Khorne himself was relentless. His massive flagship, the Bloodfire, pushed through the battlefield, firing devastating energy blasts. "Bring me the human," Khorne growled. Srava's flagship engaged the Bloodfire directly, but even with her skill, the enemy ship was too powerful. Aaron made a bold decision. "I'm leading a strike team onto his ship. If we take out his command center, the battle ends." Several Veyari soldiers volunteered to go with him. "You saved us once," one said. "We will follow you anywhere." The Aurora dodged enemy fire and attached to the Bloodfire's hull. Aaron and his team entered through an access hatch, fighting their way through enemy corridors. Inside the command chamber, Corrin stood waiting. He was even larger in person, his red armor glowing with power. "You dare step onto my ship?" he roared. Aaron held his weapon steady. "This ends now, Corrin. You don't care about the people. You just want power." Corrin charged, but Aaron and the soldiers fought with everything they had. Working together, they disabled Corrin's armor and finally overpowered him. When Corrin was captured, the rebel fleets fell into chaos. Many surrendered immediately. The remaining ships fled, unwilling to fight without their leader. The battlefield grew quiet. Slowly, messages came in from across the galaxy. "The rebellion has collapsed," a general reported. "Corrin's allies are abandoning him." Back on the royal vessel, Scifi stood before her people. "Today we have seen the true spirit of leadership, not through fear, but through courage and unity. We have won." The soldiers who had fought beside Aaron saluted him. "Without him, we would not be here," one said. Aaron looked around at the cheering crowds. He felt pride, but also humility. "We won," he said softly, "because we fought for something greater than ourselves." But even in victory, Aaron knew one final decision remained. Scifi would soon ask him again the question that had changed his life. "Will you rule the galaxy by my side?" Aaron looked at her from across the hall. She met his eyes, her golden gaze warm and proud. The war was over, but their journey together was only beginning. The grand hall was filled with light from the shining crystal pillars. The air buzzed with excitement and hope. The war was over, and the Empire had survived. But for Aaron, the moment had come that would decide not just his future, but the future of the entire galaxy. Queen Scifi sat on her throne, dressed in a robe that shimmered like the stars. Her golden eyes looked deeply into Aaron's, waiting for his answer. Round them, lords, soldiers, and citizens watched in silence. All waited to hear what Aaron would say. Scifi spoke first, her voice calm but full of meaning. "Aaron of Earth, you have proven yourself in ways none expected. You have faced dangers, won battles, and earned the trust of many worlds. You stand now before the greatest choice any can face. Will you rule the galaxy by my side?" Aaron's heart beat fast. He thought of Earth, his family, the people who had trusted him to represent humanity. He thought of the Queen, who had shown him kindness and respect, and of the many who had stood with him during the darkest hours. He thought about power, the kind that ruled through fear, the kind that crushed hope. That was not what he wanted. He wanted a future where all beings could live in peace and freedom. He took a deep breath and answered, "I will stand with you, Queen Scifi, but not as a ruler who controls others. I will rule only as a partner, as someone who listens and learns, as someone who puts the needs of the people first." A murmur spread through the crowd. Some lords whispered in surprise, others nodded slowly. Scifi smiled, a bright and warm smile. "That is what I hope to hear," she said. "But there is one condition. The Empire must change. Earth will remain free, as will all worlds that wish it. All species will have an equal voice in the council. No one world will rule the others by force." Aaron nodded firmly. "That is the only way. If we do not change, then all this fighting will be for nothing." The Queen stood and reached out her hand. "Then together, we will build a new empire. One where courage and honor guide us, not fear and greed." Aaron took her hand. The crowd erupted in cheers and applause. It was a new beginning, but the road ahead would not be easy. In the following days, Aaron and Scifi worked together to create a new council. Representatives from every world, big and small, joined to help shape the future. Aaron often thought back to his visits to the smaller planets, remembering the faces of those who had been ignored. Now, their voices would be heard, but not everyone was happy. Some lords who had supported Corrin refused to accept the new order. They whispered of rebellion and revenge. Aaron knew the peace they wanted was fragile. He would have to stay strong. And true to his promise, one evening, Scifi invited Aaron to a quiet chamber. "You have changed much in a short time," she said, "but the galaxy is vast. There will always be those who wish to take power by force." Aaron looked out the window at the stars. "Then we must be ready, not just with ships and weapons, but with understanding and trust." Scifi nodded. "You have taught me much, Aaron. You have shown me the meaning of hope." Aaron smiled softly. "And you have taught me the meaning of responsibility." They stood together, looking out at the galaxy they now shared. The future was uncertain, but for the first time, it was filled with promise. Meanwhile, on Earth, people celebrated the news of the new alliance. Aaron's name became a symbol of hope and courage. Children read stories of the human who stood beside the alien queen, who helped bring peace to the stars. Aaron knew his journey was far from over. He would often return to Earth to remind his people of their place in the galaxy and to learn from their simple wisdom. But wherever he was, Aaron never forgot the choice he had made: to stand not above others, but beside them, to lead with heart and honor. The empire was changing, and with Aaron and Scifi ruling together, a new dawn was rising over the stars. The story of the human and the alien queen would inspire many generations to come. A story of courage, friendship, and the belief that even the smallest voice can change the galaxy. Months passed since Aaron accepted Queen Scifi's offer to rule beside her. Together, they worked tirelessly to rebuild the empire. Their first task was to heal the wounds left by the rebellion. Many worlds had been damaged, trust was broken, and old fears remained. Aaron traveled often, visiting planets and meeting leaders. Each journey was a chance to listen and learn. He did not see himself as a ruler above others. Instead, he was a friend and partner, working to unite many different worlds into one family. The new Galactic Council met regularly. It was made up of representatives from every race and planet in the Empire. Decisions were made openly, with respect for all voices. Even those who once opposed the Queen found a place in this new system. It was not perfect, but it was better. On one bright morning, Scifi stood with Aaron on the balcony of the royal vessel. They looked out at the vast stars shining like diamonds. "It feels different now," Scifi said. "The galaxy is watching us, waiting to see if this new way will last." Aaron smiled. "Change is never easy, but it is the only way forward. We have started something that can grow and last for many generations." Their partnership grew stronger. Scifi learned to trust Aaron's calm judgment, and Aaron learned the wisdom of patience and strength from Scifi. Together, they balanced each other perfectly. One day, a message arrived from Earth. The people there sent their thanks and hopes for the future. Children on Earth were inspired by Aaron's story and dreamed of exploring the stars. Aaron felt pride and responsibility. He was no longer just a pilot. He was a bridge between worlds. The Queen invited Aaron to a special ceremony in the Great Hall. The room was filled with beings from all over the Empire. Scifi stood and spoke clearly. "Today we honor not only a great leader, but a symbol of hope. Aaron of Earth has shown us what it means to stand together. For that, we give him the title of Star Guardian." The crowd cheered as Aaron stepped forward. He accepted the honor humbly. "This title belongs to all of us," he said. "It is a promise to protect and serve, to always seek peace, and to listen to the voices of all." As celebrations continued, Aaron looked at Scifi. "Our journey has only just begun," she nodded. "Yes, but with each step, we are lighting a path for others to follow, far beyond the royal vessel." In the quiet depths of space, new ships prepared for exploration. The Empire was no longer just about power and control. It was about discovery, friendship, and shared dreams. Aaron knew challenges would come. There would be dangers, new enemies, and hard choices. But he was ready, because he was not alone. He ruled beside the Queen, and together, they had the strength of many worlds behind them. Under the stars, a new dawn rose over the galaxy, a dawn of hope, unity, and endless possibility. And so, the story of the human who stood by the alien queen became a legend told across the stars, reminding all that even the smallest voice can change the fate of many. And that true power comes from standing together, as checked.